Hey there. I had an interesting thing happen, and I got my Quest Pro sweatproofed. What that means is the headset is prone to getting short circuited, or at least the face tracking aspect of it being short circuited by moisture. Now, for some reason, they didn't think to add any type of protection to the area where the face tracking works. So it's basically on the faceplate area where the fans draw in air. So if you've got moisture coming in through the fans and into that area, it's got a high likelihood of short circuiting the circuits for the face tracking and thus causing errors and completely breaking. I've already had one friend replace his because the face tracking broke. Now, I'm so glad I managed to have that done. And I have Nikki to thank for sweat-proofing my headset. Now, I could have done this myself, but I haven't been so lucky on trusting myself with fixing things lately. So, I had Nikki fix it. And this is kind of like a review on the service that Nikki offers. Whole story here. But one night in VR, I was talking with a friend, and they mentioned that they knew someone who sweatproofs Quest Pros, and I was like, "Wait, why would you need to do that?" And it's apparently prone to having issues, as I mentioned earlier. So I was like, "Shoot, well, maybe I should get that done." And it seemed like kind of like a little iffy because I didn't know them yet, and I'm very cautious with my headset. They don't make it anymore. And so getting a new one, I could risk getting a bad one, getting a used one that's already broken with the face tracking. Like there's a lot of things that really made me worry. But they said, "Oh yeah, I can invite them and bring them over, and they can talk to you about and explain everything." I'm like, "Oh okay." Came into the world, explained everything, even had pictures. They had prints all explaining the details, the schematics, and the electronics, and I can tell that they enjoy doing this and they enjoy working on these headsets. And to me, that means I can really trust them with my headset because, yeah, maybe there might be something that happens, but I feel safer when someone's very enthusiastic and passionate about doing what they love. I decided finally to message them about getting my headset done. It's about $80. That's about what 10% of what the Quest Pro costs now. If you want to try and get it off Amazon, it's about 800. So for about 10% of the cost, you can ship it out, which not including shipping. I paid a hefty price because I put a lot of packaging in mine and I put $1,000 insurance. And that was about an extra $10. Got it all packaged up, sent it out, and it took about a day and a half. No, not a day, like a couple of days. I live on the same coast as Nikki, so it made it really quick for it to get there. And the cool thing is, as soon as it got there, got home from work, got on Discord, and they instantly showed the process of how they do it. They did it in the Discord, on video, explained everything, and, went through the whole process with me, which is very nice and reassuring. To have that, it makes me trust it even more. Now that they got that done, it was like, okay, it's the afternoon, and it's not going to go out today, but it's going to go out tomorrow. So I was like, okay, cool, awesome. So all I had to do was buy the label again, which cost me another $25. I was excited to get my headset back. I was like, okay, dropped it off at the mail center. It's in the mail. Cool. And I wait. And it says waiting for it to be accepted. I'm like, okay, waiting. And then the next day it said accepted by the facility. I'm like, oh, cool, it's moving. And then it said traveling through the network. Oh, it's going to arrive by Monday. Cool. I can get it right before I go to Megaplex. And I can be, rest assured that it'll be in possession before I leave and I don't have to worry about it. Monday rolls around. it still says in transit. It hasn't really moved. And it says, oh, might be arriving late. I'm like, oh, okay, well, things happen. I'm sure it'll get here by the end of this week. And another day, and another day, and another day. And it just said, may arrive late, moving through network. And at this point, I'm just like, oh no, this headset's lost. Oh. So by Wednesday of the week of Megaplex, I decided to file a claim with the USPS insurance. And so for about another week, I'm just waiting on the insurance claim to go through. And then by that following Saturday morning, I got a message saying, hey, we need some more information about your headset. Noticed that there's some conflicting with the headset. I sent 2 pictures. One showing the invoice kind of the headset. And I spent like $1,000 on it at the time. And then showing the replacement when I decided to switch it out for a new one when there were some problems. Okay. But they wanted more information, and I was like, oh gosh, how do I try to explain it, the reasoning? And now that I look back on it, I think they meant the invoice of the label. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I was a little confused. I'm just like, this headset's gone. I'm going to have to buy a new one, and I'm going to have to try and fight to get this insurance claim through and all this stuff. So I got desperate. That Sunday, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go for it and buy another Quest Pro. And my friends had told me that they had bought them through Amazon, and it was a brand new Quest Pro. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to go for it. Whatever. I'll pay it off. I have a Index, but I wasn't too keen on using it. It's kind of like my backup, and not having face tracking, first world problems. I could live without it. I could live on desktop mode and be fine, honestly. I feel like I can't get the same expression that I could with face tracking. Yeah, I was relearning to use gestures, but it just wasn't the same. It's Monday, kind of like, maybe I made a poor financial choice. And by midday, it said it received in my local USPS facility. And I got so excited. I was like, oh my God, it's moving. It's moving. It's been like 3 weeks. It's been like 3 weeks since it said it was going to be delivered. I don't know what happened, but sometimes I guess that just does happen. I was kind of like looking up online of, other people's issues with USPS and things just saying moving through a network may arrive late. Finally, that Monday afternoon, finally got my headset back. And Nikki had packaged it pretty much the same way that I had sent it to him. I had a lot of paper, a lot of bubble, corners that were used on pallets. So I had made this box pretty... You could throw that box around and the headset would be perfectly fine. I said, all right, cool. Plugged everything in. I looked at everything, even cleaned the inside of the headset, which was nice. I really appreciate that. And if you're gonna get a Quest Pro, I highly suggest you get it sweatproofed. I'll try to have like some way of a link in the description or something like that. Definitely highly recommend Nikki on getting your headset sweatproofed. Or there is a channel in their Discord that shows all the things that they use. Little plastic tools to open up the headset, little tiny screwdriver set, the silicone to use, basically the whole kit to do it yourself if you're not comfortable, sending it out and you're comfortable with opening up the headset. Fair warning, there's definitely some things you need to know about opening up your headset. And you could definitely ask Nikki about that because they know a lot about the headset. And that's pretty much all I had for now. So thank you for watching, and hopefully you got to the very end of this. And hey, maybe I'll do more videos like this, kind of like reviews. But have a good night. See ya.